ですが。玲子ですか？
もしもし。午後1時30分。
ネオジオ CD 新登場。
Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Episode 2. I got a very special extra episode for you guys this Thursday because if you haven't heard already, the Samurai Shodown RPG English translation is here. I showed a beta work in progress of this about a year ago, and the Price of Reason I have been chatting in the background. He restarted work after some hard drive failures back in the day kind of killed his motivation, but he got back on the project, and as of today, you can play Samurai Shodown RPG on the Neo Geo CD in a full, perfect English translation. All of the story, all of the dialogue, and all of the menus and shops are here in full English, and that is absolutely incredible because this is one of those Neo Geo CD games that absolutely everyone has always wanted to play in English, and for the longest time it was not available. There was a machine French translation, but if you didn't speak French and if you didn't understand that machine translation, it really wasn't much use to us. But now, thanks to the Price of Reason, it is here in full English, and I know so many people are going to be excited about that. Before I get too far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. But Samurai Shodown RPG has been one of those games that Neo Geo fans have known about for decades. Unfortunately, it never came out to the US regions. It was a Japanese exclusive, so of course it never actually got a proper translation. And what the Price of Reason has done is translated the entire script, gone in, recoded everything for a full English translation. And I will say, in the time I have spent with this game so far, which has not been much, he sent me the files a little bit in advance yesterday, I have absolutely seen nothing about this translation that does not ring perfect. All of the formatting, all of the menus, everything is in full English, understandable, legible. It is as good as gold. You'll see here in the story select, you get all of the English text. You're going to be walked through all of the different options. Everything that you would possibly need to read is going to be available to you as an English language speaker. And I'm sure this translation will get pivoted to other languages now that it is available. And the best part is every single bit of Japanese text is here in full English. All of the battle menus, all of the story, anything that you would need to be able to play, enjoy the story, narrative, and the action is going to 100% be provided to you. And I'm so excited that the Price of Reason got this thing finished. When I did the original video, he sent me an unreleased beta that he hadn't worked on in years, and the comments on those videos from you guys inspired him to start working on this again. He gave me a thanks in the readme just to motivate him, but honestly it was all of your comments, the positivity, showing him that people really wanted this, that actually got him back to work. So whatever small part I played in this, and trust me, it is minimal, I'm taking no credit for this effort, I just told him people wanted it and gave him a couple words of encouragement. It should be you guys that watch these videos that deserve the thanks. You wanted it, he finished it up, and don't forget to swing by Twitter and thank him as well. But again, this is just such a revelatory experience. It has been decades since this game came out, and everyone has always wanted to play it. Japanese language audiences got to enjoy this day one. It is now 2023, almost December, and here we are. It's like an early Christmas gift, and that is the great thing about fan translations and fan projects in general. It brings you something so fun, because this is what we used to have. This is a French machine translation that basically was half mangled, and obviously not being able to speak French, I couldn't get much out of it, and that was basically the basis of what existed outside of the Price of Reason's beta that he had sent me a while ago, which you're seeing footage of right here. And that is why he wanted to go back in and finish the project, because so many people were so anticipating being able to play this game for the first time. Now, as we switch the footage over from a real Neo Geo CD to a MiSTer FPGA core, I will say there's so many incredible ways to play this game. It works on real hardware, it works on MiSTer FPGA as you're watching now. You can emulate the Neo Geo CD, but however you decide to do this, you need to play it, because I will say the technical prowess of getting this translation working was not easy, and the Price of Reason would send me previews, different screenshots showing the issues he was facing, but he got it 100% working. One of my favorite parts is too, because there is Japanese dialogue voiceover, all of that has been properly translated into English, and the pacing works really well. So go ahead and listen to this next section for like 45 seconds, and I'll come back and tell you more about the translation.
この俺より覇王丸の方が力があるとでも言うのか。ふざけるな。銀次郎。俺は断じて認めん。来い、覇王丸。どちらが真に強いのか、はっきりさせてやる。よせ、源十郎。 行くぞ!
Not only is it fun that we do get actual spoken dialogue within the game, but the text response to that dialogue so closely matches the cadence. You hear the voice start, the text pops up on screen, and it travels at about the same speed, giving you a sensation of how it should actually be read if it was in Japanese. And you'll see here, if you go into any of the shops, everything has been translated over, including some of the actual artwork. This is not just text, he went in and modified some other assets as well to give you guys the best possible translation. I have not seen anything in this work that would tell me go back to the price of reason and say, hey, maybe you should tweak this or that. The language is really good here. A lot of times with translations, you have to take a literal Japanese text and translate it not only word to word, but also for the intent. There's a lot of things that don't translate between one language to the other, so it is the translator's job to interpret that text and put it back into English conversationally so we understand the meaning behind the words. And I am a filmmaker for a living, and I do have to deal with a lot of dialogue writing, and if I took my dialogue and gave it to a different language speaker and said translate it, and they did it literally, it would make absolutely zero sense contextually. So the Price of Reason here has done an absolutely amazing job of understanding all of that. And I will say again, it's just so incredible to actually see this play. Now you can find this on CD Romance, it's going to be available on romhacking.net, but however you decide to pick it up and play it, you definitely have to. Even all of the text in the battles is here, and it is all done in the proper font. You would forgive him if he just decided to put this in a basic font to save time, but all of the font work has been done to bring that font over into English and make sure all of the words in the entire game are exactly correct. And it is amazing to have this all in English as well for the battle sequences, because even though you could kind of get through these back in the day in Japanese, you still really didn't know exactly what you were picking, and a lot of the results would be completely variable. Now you will see here we have everything we need to understand exactly what we're doing, and that just brings so much more fun and excitement to the game. You add on top of that an awesome story that SNK wrote in The Price of Reason translated, and this is going to be a lot of people's RPG of 2023 as far as old school 16-bit stuff is concerned. It is just that great, and there is a ton of story in this game as well. There's so many different characters to select from, different chapters to choose. You have to play absolutely everything to understand the full story that was in this game, but now you can do that. And in the beta, it was only a few pieces of the game that had actually been fully translated, and everything else was still left as work pending to be done. But we're here today and we have it. And I will say that this game also has an absolutely amazing soundtrack. It is quite understated in the background, but I do love the music that it plays. So go ahead and listen just for like 30 seconds or so, and I'll come back and show you a little bit more of the pristine translation of Samurai Shodown RPG. But enjoy! It's got that classic Samurai Shodown music that you would get in some of the fighting games, but here in a role-playing game instead. And that's the great thing about Samurai Shodown RPG in general. It has absolutely everything nailed down solidly. The graphics look like classic SNK Neo Geo goodness. All of the RPG combat is amazing, and you can actually pivot it to do fighting game moves. And The Price of Reason let me know that something the game doesn't explain very well is if you hit back at the right time during an attack, you can actually block some attacks or minimize the damage. So to keep that in mind when you're playing the game. The only thing about this game that was not ready for prime time and not perfect was the fact that nobody could understand it if they didn't read Japanese, and that is why it's so fun to be able to say as of today that is no longer the case, and that is why I'm always so encouraging to things. The Price of Reason wasn't going to pick this translation back up, but when he read all of the comments on my Neo Geo series when I showed his beta off, he realized people out there were excited about it, and it motivated him to work again. And not to get too much Bob Ross on you guys, but niceness and encouragement get you so much more than complaining about something not being available. Treat the people that are doing these projects well, motivate them to work, and before you know it, you two are going to be hanging out with your well-endowed Tanuki friend here in full English. But short of that, go play Samurai Shodown RPG. It's an absolutely incredible game, and now as of today, you can 100% understand exactly what's going on. Short of that, I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye-bye.